Thanks for purchasing this net worth tracker in Google Sheets. My name's Andy and I'm the creator of this spreadsheet and also the creator of Sheet Ready. Okay, first for a sneak peek of what this spreadsheet is for. As the name implies, this is a net worth tracking tool. The idea is that over time, you add dates and data for that specific date that corresponds with your assets and your liabilities at the time. As you add more dates, it builds up a picture of your net worth. Hopefully, as in this example, your net worth is increasing. It may not, but hopefully it is. The other thing this tool does is you can select whether you want to track net worth or just your assets or just your liabilities. But I figure the most useful indicator for most people is going to be net worth, and that's probably why you wanted to purchase this spreadsheet. The other thing this tool can do is it can give you a snapshot at a specific date. So the snapshot is of your assets and of your liabilities, and you can see what the breakdowns are. Let's just go back to the most recent date. So that's what the tool can do. Now let me explain how to use it. The first thing you want to do is to populate your categories. So in this example, for my assets, I've got property, stocks, cash, and retirement as my categories. For my liability categories, I have mortgage, loan. Now, maybe you just want to combine the two, or credit card as well. Now, you can have up to 15 categories in each of your assets and the liabilities. That's a fair few categories. I don't think anyone will need any more than that. Now, what you do is you go into your tracker. Right, now probably to make it easier, what I'm going to do is let me undo all of my hard work here and we'll start from scratch. Now, if I press delete, it's going to give me a warning. That is because it won't let me delete these cells. These are formulas. These are adding up my net worth, my assets, and my liabilities from across this set of data. So what I need to do is to specifically delete my dates, to delete my data, and you can see the charts are quite upset with me. Let's go back to the start. Let's say that on the 15th of January, this is in US format, 2010, that this is where my journey of assets began. I'm also going to delete what's up the top here and to delete what's over here. Okay, I've got a clean sheet. Right, and my dates are all out of whack too. Let's say I've got a very simple asset. I've just purchased my first property. I'm going to call that home. The category there, which we selected earlier, is property. Let's say that I also have some cash. The category is cash. Maybe I'll call that savings. As for my liabilities, once I become a homeowner, I have a mortgage. I'll just say that that's, for the purposes of this, I'll keep it simple. Mortgage. That's my date. That's when it all started. The asset itself is worth something like $500,000. However, my liability at that point is worth $490,000. I must have saved up a small deposit. And my cash, I don't have much. Let's say I have $5,000. All right, let's make another data point. Let's say that a year after this, so 15th of January 2011, I now have, let's see, my property value has gone up. So this is the capital value of that asset. My savings have increased. That's quite miraculous. And I've made a little dent in this loan. Great. there we have our net worth has actually increased quite substantially, and that's largely due to the capital growth of that property, also a little bit of an increase in savings and a decrease in liabilities. Now let's just fast forward a couple of years, and we'll stick with this whole 15th of January. Yeah, let's go there. Let's say that in that amount of time, I've actually now added some stocks. Let's call this my portfolio. And I've started a retirement plan. Here we go. So the value of my property might now be $620,000. I've also been good at saving. Got $18,000 now in the bank. And would you believe it, I've started a stock portfolio, got $5,000 in that, and I've started putting away for my future into retirement. Let's say that at the same time I've taken out a small personal loan to finance my stock portfolio, and category will go for loan. Let's say it's $5,000. Great. Meanwhile, $450,000. I've been able to reduce my debt. So here we can see, after only 4 years, once again due to capital growth, due to the ability to save and the ability to reduce debt, that I am well on track here. Now what I want to show you is this snapshot date. At the moment, it's not really doing what I want it to do, but I can select any of the 3 dates that I have entered. You can see it's very basic at the start, but there's a bit more of a picture to tell now. What I can do is hover over each of these charts, and it can give me the breakdown of what each category is in terms of percent and value. So here we go. As can be expected, it's very lopsided in terms of property. Let's give ourselves another 5 years on this imaginary timeline. Let's say in that time, our property price keeps going up, but our savings have also increased. Our stock portfolio is well on the way, as is our retirement. Okay, let's get this down. We basically paid that off now. So the liability is still all mortgage. Let's update this date. There we can see the asset spread is definitely changing. And that is because we are increasing the value of our other assets. So this is grouped into property, stocks, cash, and retirement. Let's fast forward to something a bit more present day. Why don't we mix things up just because we can? Let's 30th of June 2023, 850,000. Property market has tapered off a little bit. Our cash is now up to 50,000. Our stocks, we're doing very well. We're also investing at the same time. What can I say? Maybe here we've gone and paid off that loan, but at the same time we've taken out another loan for stocks. This time in the order of 100 grand. And here, why don't we just add that straight onto there. Great, now I'll update my snapshot date to the latest, and you can see here the spread changed quite dramatically because now a quarter of all of our debt effectively is tied up in this loan that we had to purchase new stocks. At the same time, you can see that the stock portion of our assets is gotten quite a bit larger, as has the retirement. Let's put in an imaginary date now. I suppose you could do this if you wanted to put in an imaginary forecast, but I'm not sure what value there is. I think we'd be better off using a bespoke forecasting tool. But for the purposes of just seeing what it looks like, one of the main reasons that I'd like to do this is to show a bit more of a spread across the assets. Let's get that down to 20 as well, or 30, that'll do. So I really was keen on seeing this spread get a bit larger. Yep, a little bit, but as you can see, the property value really shot up as well. So you can see this is quite powerful, it's quite flexible, and it can track you as you go. You'll just need to put in real world data on specific dates. So one way to do that is to jump online, get a quick property valuation. In Australia, we have a tool called realestate.com.au, and you can put in any street address in the country and it will give you an approximate value. In the US, I'm sure there are other similar tools to that. And as for the stocks, you should be able to access the value of those stocks at any point on any given day. So it should be pretty straightforward in terms of grabbing the data on the day. But it is a discipline that you have to put in place, maybe put a reminder for a 6 monthly check, or every time you do your tax return. That could be a good chance to update this data. And I use this tool, and it's very helpful for me in terms of just seeing how we're going as a household and seeing how we're tracking against some forecasts that we've made. Great, so last but not least, we can have a look at our liabilities. We can see how over time they've come down. That was the additional loan, which set us back a bit. We can have a look at our assets just on their own, and there's nothing but increase there. But the real one that everyone will be interested in is net worth. Okay, as for data, I've got up to 8 columns for assets and 8 for liabilities. You can actually increase it. The limitation is more around the categories. That's why I say that there's 15 categories. Yeah, just be aware, as you can see here, that the charts have moved around a little bit. You can drag and drop them, but I have separate labels which are inside the cells, and they're not floating in the charts themselves. So if you do add columns, you'll just have to copy and paste those chart labels back. Well, thank you for using my tool. I hope you really enjoy it. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me at the email on the instructions, sheetready@gmail.com. Thanks.